Hey, my teleprompter rig is abnormal. It's kind of weird looking, looks like a crab on its feet. And in my experience, unless you're a pro at simply looking into the lens of the camera, you could greatly benefit from a confidence monitor. Now, many people already know what a confidence monitor is, or just simply a teleprompter. But as a confidence monitor, we're able to look at ourselves and see ourselves moving, pretty much like newscasters and, television commentators, sports commentators. Now, a big monitor like the size of an iPad or an actual iPad itself is great, but you'll need a fixed plot of desk real estate to place it. And also your camera is going to be trapped in it. So in other words, you're going to have it behind the curtain, and then it's going to have to be fixed a certain way with the curtain over top, and then you have to plug this stuff up to it, bring the cord through there and all. That's a lot of work, and it's going to stay on your desk and take up a lot of real estate with the camera trapped on it. Now, on the other hand, there's the screen on the camera, which is pretty small. And I know some people were saying, hey, I can just flip the side of the screen out and look at myself there. That's cool, but then you don't also have the option of seeing your Zoom clients and be able to look them in the face right in the teleprompter. And so I want to say to you that the monitor on the side of the camera is actually small, and if you're trying to use that, it's going to be a little hard. But there is a sweet spot. And it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it doesn't make your rig real big. Now, the Parrot was onto something, but Desview actually figured it out, because with the Parrot, you had to put your phone on there, and then with your phone on there, it was just too small. I also tried a small Anderson monitor. I tried a lilliput 5-inch, and they really won't work, and that's just too small. I also had the T2, and the T2 was a great Desview teleprompter hook on. It was real great, but that had some issues like glare. It had ghosting on it. But the good news is they've improved on their product with the T3. And that's the main piece to my abnormal teleprompter rig. Let me show it to you. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through my pieces. Of course, there's the camera, and then you have the lens that's attached to the camera. Now, Desview has a bag full of these rings, and you pick the ring to match and fit whatever your lens is. You're going to screw this on here, pretty much, and then you're done. Okay. Now, next, the camera is going to go on this wonderful piece by edelkrone, and it's called the Flex Tilt Head. So this flex tilt head is something that's going to allow for adjustment of height. And so basically we just take and we're going to screw it on here. If you have certain quick mounts, you'll just mount your camera on there. And so once we get him in here, we screw it down under the bottom, and the camera is on the stand as such. Okay, now because of the heaviness of this lens, it's not going to hold itself up. And so from the same company, edelkrone, we have this spider-like looking piece right here, and this is my actual stand, and this is going to be called the Stand 1. Now, the interesting thing about the Stand 1 is it has what I call like spider legs. And so what we do is you basically just take it and you pull the legs out. Once you pull the legs out like this, as such, got him, and you take them and spread them apart like this. This guy goes onto the bottom of here, and it screws right in, and pretty much like a helicopter, you spin him on in. And once you turn them, it'll lock itself, okay, and it's pretty much done. And so now you pull those legs out to give it a good base, and she sits right up just like this. Okay, and so there's a view of the whole kit. Now this guy is wonderful because you can do many things, like take the legs, you can prompt them up pretty much like this, change your angles, And then don't forget, with the flex tilt head, you can get height adjustment. And so there you can move the height up and down on here, this twist, so you can get a left and right. And you have a lot of versatility that you don't get with the stationary teleprompter setup. Now, mind you, we still don't have the teleprompter on here yet. So the next piece is, in here, I have my normal battery. And if we lift this guy up, it gives us some room here so that we can get the battery out of the side. And so we're going to take this battery out of here, and we're going to put in this dummy battery. So we have our dummy battery, and this guy is this is like a regular Sony NP 960 battery that you can have. And you just put it on this small rig battery plate. Boom, you have it on here. And you take your dummy battery. Of course, we're all familiar with the necessity of dummy batteries. And I'm just going to plug it on the rig right there. So there is my dummy battery. Let's put these legs back down to give it its stability so that we can ready it for the desview. Now, after we've done all that, we finally get to the desview teleprompter. So we have our camera on here on our stand. We have our dummy battery hooked up, and I normally will just take and put the screen out on the side so that we pretty much know what we're looking at on the side, make sure the focusing is right. But for the confidence monitor, we're all set with the T3. And so what we're going to do is take this guy right here, and once we get him, we're going to put him right on top of here. Okay, and now I have on here the Lilliput A7. I believe that the optimized size for this, even though they tell you can use a iPad with it, I believe that it's much better and it's optimized to fit this window, to fit the screen and everything with the 7-inch of your choice. Now the thing is, I've mounted this 7-inch on here with this screw right here in the back, so it'll sit here. And the reason why is the closer that you get the edge of the screen to here, the better you can see into whatever's being displayed on the screen. You kind of want to get it closer there underneath. And so the bezel on most of these monitors, if it has an outer bezel, you get it a little bit lower, or you want to get as close into this mirror as possible. Pure example is on the Glide Gear TMP 100, you can get that iPad or you can get the monitor literally underneath it to match, so you can get the fullness of the screen, the frame, the window. And so a lot of these prompters, the problem is there's no way to get it further back underneath so that it matches the front of here with the glass. And so actually the TMP, this is the reason why the TMP Glide Gear is actually a great piece to optimize your screen space, because you can get that monitor back underneath so that it fits the frame, okay? And you don't see a lot of the bezel. And so I got it here so that you can lose that bezel and get it on here. So we're going to take this, and this pops right on the front of here. Once we get that, we're all set, and we get this up here. All right, boom. And so now with this up top here, we're just going to take and we're going to get this. I'll zoom in so you can see that. And all I do is I just tuck this guy over here somewhere, and with this here, I can always position this and move it any way that I want. And I'm just going to take my HDMI cord and get that on here, and then we're going to get the HDMI to the monitor, and then we'll just get a power cord and put that right in, and we're all set. Now my HDMI is running from a splitter so that I can see on both of my confidence monitors. I'll be able to see what's going on here. And so this is the nice little hookup here, and that is my teleprompter hookup. And the great news about it is This kind of rig allows you to put it right in front of the computer so you can look at this widescreen real estate and not have to turn to the side to look at a different teleprompter over to the side. And so while I still use this, I've come accustomed to using this much more. And that is my simple setup on my abnormal teleprompter hookup. And so the great news about it is, instead of having to go behind this guy and pulling everything apart and getting that camera off the back and going around there, I literally can just take this monitor right here, and I can go to it and I can just pop this off the front. It's off there and I have total access to my camera, take it off the stand. I can move it around, go out, do photo shoots, whatever I have to do, come back in, and I have my webcam set up and I have my teleprompter, and I'm ready for Zoom meetings, I'm ready for YouTube lives, I'm ready for Facebook lives, and I can put whatever I want on this screen. If I'm on an interview with somebody, I can look at my folks right here in this screen. And for the record, there's no actual screen that's big enough to actually allow you to see everything a monitor will see. And so stepping down a size and losing all of the extra real estate space that's taken up, this is a great option for people that have to move between their desk, that have to move to different places in their house, or if you have to step away from your house. You can take this portable rig with you. You can pack it up. The desview actually has a cover for the screen, and you can take that with you. You can put the monitor in the case, and you have your camera which you put in the case, and you actually can take a teleprompter hookup with you anywhere you go. It'll just take a HDMI cable to come out so that you can put your monitor, your second monitor, in front of you through an output. And so most people who travel, you kind of get the idea of that, but it's a great way to actually have a teleprompter hookup and have the versatility of being able to be face forward with your computer with a widescreen, and also have it where you have a screen that you can take and you can make the adjustments of being able to put the screen up, and when you're not using it, you can put it down. You can take the camera on and off the desk. It's your choice. All right, so I hope that has helped somebody, and that's it from me from the Combos. Holla.